It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. Seneca, you think procrastination is laziness, poor discipline, or a lack of motivation. But the truth is far sharper. You procrastinate because you are afraid to fail. You avoid starting because starting makes failure real. As long as the work stays unbegun, it stays perfect in your mind. As long as the plan exists only in your imagination, it stays flawless. As long as the idea lives only inside your head, no one can judge it, and you don't have to judge yourself. Procrastination is not a time problem, it is an identity problem. You delay because completing the task would force you to face the truth about your abilities, your discipline, your potential, and your limits. And that truth terrifies you more than any deadline ever could. So you retreat into the familiar comforts, scrolling, snacking, messaging, cleaning, planning, thinking, overthinking. Anything but doing the thing that exposes you. You tell yourself you are not ready. You need more energy, more clarity, more motivation. But the real reason is this. You doubt you are good enough to succeed, and you fear confirming that doubt. Procrastination becomes a psychological armor. It protects your ego from the pain of inadequacy. If you fail after starting early, you weren't enough. But if you start late, you can always say, "I didn't have time." You give yourself a built-in excuse, a safety rope, a shield. You never give yourself the chance to see what you're truly capable of, because that truth might hurt. Yet this protection comes with a cost. The more you avoid action, the more you increase the quiet pressure inside your chest. The task doesn't disappear, it expands. The fear doesn't fade, it multiplies. And every hour you delay, you lose respect for yourself. You know what you should do. You know what would move your life forward. Instead, you stay stuck in a strange limbo, not working, not resting, not improving, not progressing, just floating in anxiety. This drains more energy than the work itself ever would. Avoidance is exhausting. Procrastination isn't comfort. It's slow self-destruction dressed as short-term relief. Seneca wrote that we suffer more from imagination than reality, and procrastination proves this. You suffer far more from thinking about the task than you ever would from doing it. You build the problem into a monster, and then you hide from the monster you created. But monsters shrink under action and grow under avoidance. The Stoics understood that the root of procrastination is fear. Fear of imperfection, fear of judgment, fear of responsibility, fear of discovering your own limits. You fear the work because you fear what the work will reveal about you. But here's the truth you forget. You do not need to be perfect to begin. Action does not require confidence. Action creates confidence. You don't wait for readiness. Readiness is built through movement. You don't wait for courage. Courage grows only when you act while afraid. The only cure for procrastination is honesty. Admit that your fear is making decisions for you. Admit that you've been choosing temporary comfort instead of long-term strength. Admit that the problem isn't the task. It's the story you tell yourself about what failure would mean. The moment you stop lying to yourself, procrastination loses its power. The moment you accept that imperfection is inevitable, action becomes possible. The Stoics didn't wait for motivation. They acted out of principle. They believed that the longer you wait, the weaker you become. Not because the task gets harder, but because your fear grows roots. You break this cycle not by suddenly becoming disciplined or inspired, but by taking the smallest possible step. 2 minutes, one motion, one tiny beginning. Sit down. Open the document. Write one sentence. Read one paragraph. Send one message. Start for 2 minutes, and you'll often continue for 20. Small beginnings destroy the illusion that you are powerless. They remind you that movement is always under your control, even if outcomes aren't. And remember this, you don't procrastinate because the task is hard. You procrastinate because the meaning you've attached to the task is heavy. You think your worth is on the line. But you are wrong. Your worth is not defined by success or failure. It is defined by whether you act according to your values. A person who tries and fails is already stronger than a person who hides behind excuses. Procrastination ends the moment you stop protecting your ego and start protecting your future. You don't need to feel brave, you need to move. You don't need to stop being afraid, you need to stop obeying the fear. You don't need a perfect plan, you need a beginning. Perfection is not required. Effort is, courage is, honesty is. Because in the end, procrastination isn't a problem of time, it's a problem of self-trust. And every time you choose action, even the smallest action, you tell yourself the truth you've avoided for years. I can handle this. I am capable. I am better than my fear. And that is how you finally break free.